growing a personal brand and you've been like posting and waiting for things to pop off and it's just not happening, you're not getting the visibility that you know your brand deserves, it probably comes down to one thing. And it's people don't know why are you the person that they want to watch, they want to engage with, that they want answers to their problems from. And it's not because you don't have those things to offer, but you're not differentiating yourself in the market. You're not showing why you're different than all the other people making Get Ready With Me's or all the other artists showing their art. What is the thing about you? So I'm going to give you an example. I'm a huge fan of fantasy. You can probably like guess if you watch any of my videos and that I talk about like fantasy and mythology and things like that. And so I want to talk about why Game of Thrones popped off and became like a huge phenomenon and how you can kind of replicate that, because fantasy like really wasn't in pop culture that much. Like I remember when I was a kid, I was a big like Xena Warrior Princess fan, but then like in the 2000s, whatever, I just don't remember it being that big, especially not on the level of Game of Thrones. Besides Lord of the Rings, maybe, right? Lord of the Rings is like the only one that I remember. Now, in the comments, you can tell me if I'm wrong, and there's other ones that I'm not thinking of right now, but certainly Game of Thrones like reached this like peak pop culture status that I don't even know if Lord of the Rings did. And it comes down to it being positioned completely different than any other fantasy that came before it because of three reasons. Number one, it was very adult. Okay. Fantasy kind of has this like reputation, I think, of being a little childlike, right? Which isn't true, but that's kind of like what we think of it as being for kids, not for adults. And Game of Thrones, very adult. And also there was like no plot armor for characters, right? Like your favorite character could be gone in the next episode. And so it had true stakes. And then the last thing is that the fantasy element was there, but it was like a background character. The main plot was driven by like politics, right? And so it was different than the conceptualization that people had in their mind. Is that a word? Conceptualization? Yeah, of course it is. That people had in their minds of what a fantasy show would be. And so it captured like the attention of folks. And so your thing is like, okay, if you are a TV show, how is your TV show different? Why should people watch yours over every other one?